Hello, welcome to the Peter Parker Show. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the one thing that you guys have been waiting for me to talk about, which is what is the difference between the 3K and the 2K motor and controller. So today we're going to talk about that. I'm going to pull over here in this little park here. And we're going to talk about it. See if we can find a good spot here where we're not bothered. There's people here. Let's see. All right, I'll just park right here. Been having trouble with this blinker here. Just keeps breaking. All right. First of all, I want to say that the 2K motor is currently on right now. I took off the 3K motor, and also we have swapped the Sabatron 3K for the 2K as well. So inside here there's a Sabatron that is a 2K controller, and we've also changed the external battery pack, which is what functions and turns on the rear light, the blinkers, and the front light, and adds more juice, especially because that little one was great, but when I honked the horn, which is right here, it was so much more quieter. And unfortunately, if the light was on and I hit the honk would sound muffled. And in times where I really needed that extra loudness from the horn to protect myself from the road, it wasn't available. So I was planning on buying a new external battery pack like this one, but Ali, since he's such a fucking Chad and such a awesome person, he gave me one that he had extra. So I've been using this external battery pack just like the other one I had, but much bigger. I can't tell you guys what the difference is between the small one and the bigger one, but it says right here, it tells you here all the information you need to know, what the brand is. If you guys want to pause the video, you can see right here what it's all about. The output, the capacity, you can see it right there, hopefully. But this is a great little battery pack. It's definitely worth buying if you have, if you just have like a different battery and a different controller. It's definitely worth investing into a bigger battery pack for sure. All right, so let's break it down. So the battery, a lot of people asking, yo, what is that battery? Is this a cover for the battery? No, it is not a cover for the battery. It is the battery. The shape is the actual battery. And believe it or not, this is a 72 volt battery, which is pretty cool. And it also is what adds all that amp wattage into the motor and the controller. So because of that battery, we have more power that we're getting. Unlike the original Super 73, which had less ampage, this one is pretty much double the ampage as the Super 73 stock battery has. So just imagine having your Super and the power it has and the torque it has, but imagine double the amount. And that's what this battery does, the 72 volt battery does. Unfortunately, I do not know where Ali got this from. So I don't have a link in the description for this battery, but I can tell you guys that it's probably on Alibaba somewhere. And if you really care enough to want to buy this battery specifically, reach out to Ali. I always put his Instagram down in the description below. If you guys want to modify your bike, he can definitely do that for you. And you guys could talk price and whatever, but he's the man. And also, you guys were asking where I can find the motor and the controller. I don't have that information. Again, it's all Ali. He has contacts with the distributor and the people from China that are distributing this stuff. So I have no access to any of that information, and I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that to unfortunately help you guys out buy these. But like I said, if you reach out to Ali, I'm sure he'll gladly give you instructions and even maybe do it himself, buy it for you and install it himself for you guys. All right, so let's cut the crap. What is the big deal? Why did I downgrade my 3K my 3K motor and controller to a 2K motor and controller? Well, I gotta say, it's not a downgrade, guys. It's all the opposite. It's an upgrade. And you're thinking, Peter, what the fuck? That is not an upgrade. That's literally a downgrade. You're going slower, you have less torque, and you're a loser for not putting a bigger motor on there that make you go 80 miles per hour, and you can be as cool as us going 90 on the highway. First of all, yes, that's true, except for the loser part. But I was gonna say, it's actually an upgrade because, believe it or not, the motor, this 2K motor, weighs way less than the 3K. There's a big difference in weight. In fact, this motor is so much lighter that if you lift the bike, it'll weigh pretty much the same as a stock Super 73. It won't weigh anything like, like the 3K or the 5K motors. They weigh a ton. Those things are so rear heavy, especially for an S2, where you really want to distribute the weight properly, because the frame is, obviously there's no suspension, so you want it to weigh as similar to the original bike as possible, so there's no damage to the frame. Second of all, even though it's a 2K motor, the output is of a 3K, so you're not really losing 3K. You can still output 3K if you want. So if I were to put a 3K controller on here, it would still be able to handle it. But I don't want that, because I just want to stay at 2K. And also, it's just nice that it doesn't weigh a ton, right? But if I wanted to go 3K, I can. It's just, I just need a different controller. And speaking of controllers, the reason why I have this 2K controller is because I like the way that this bike is set up. It has really good torque. It's pretty much like triple the amount of torque than a stock Super 73 has, which is perfect. I don't need to hit this throttle and whiskey throttle it, like, see how like that's like a little bit of a jolt? It's not like you're not going on a wheelie on this thing, right? It's not like a Suron where you just press the throttle, or you just twist the grip a little bit and you're just off doing wheelies and then scorpion on the ground. It's nothing like that. So there's a gradual increase in the torque. So you start slowly, but then it picks up in like 3 seconds, and you're like at 30 in like maybe 5 to 6 seconds, and you're pretty much at 40 once you reach 15 seconds. So that's all you need. You don't need to go from 0 to 30 in like 2 seconds. You don't need that. That's way too dangerous. And that's just my opinion, right? You guys can do whatever you want, but I just think that that's way too dangerous. Second of all, I don't know if I already said second of all, but second of all, the thing with the controller and the motor being 2K is that there's another plus. You're gaining a lot of range. I mean, I'm saying a lot. I mean, I can go 40 to 45 miles on this bike. And you're saying, wow, Peter, that's crazy. How can you go that far with all the weight and with all the torque and speed? Well, let me tell you, because the motor is much lighter and the battery is still 72 volts, right? So it can handle all that, and it can give you that extra range, which is really nice. Because if I were to put a 3K controller and a 3K motor, I would probably get like 25 miles of range, which is what you get with the original Super 73. And I did not put all these parts on my bike just to get a downgrade. I want to go faster, I want to go torquier, and I want to go in longer rides. I don't want to just be 25 miles and I'm back to just a single battery and then I have to add another battery. I don't want any of that. I want one battery, one motor, one controller, faster, torquier, and go farther, you know, way further than with a stock Super 73. I know I'm ranting about it, but I'm telling you guys, this is a really big upgrade. This is not a downgrade at all. This is actually what you need to do to really enjoy the bike as it is. And honestly, the way, if you look at it right now, it looks like a stock Super 73. It doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look modified at all, except for the light. And obviously the battery looks like it has a cover on it. But if you weren't to pay attention to the motor and the battery, it literally looks the same. And as you can see, I put a little bit of cable management here, so it looks so much better than it did when I first had it in the beginning. I have my blinker on there. Whoops. And yeah, it just feels like a much smoother ride, and I feel much safer on it, and I feel like I have better torque and better speed. I can actually go 47, 48 miles top speed on this guy. If I were to be a skinny legend and I weighed, let's say, 160 pounds, I would probably go 50 on this bad boy easily. But because I weigh, you know, over 200 pounds, I'm going to lose a little bit of that top speed, which is like 47, 48 right now. So, and I said this in the previous video and you guys didn't listen, but when you have a S2 like me and you have no suspension at all, you definitely do not want that speed and that torque, because when you hit a bump, you will fly off this bike. I'm serious. The moment you hit a big pothole or a bump, your ass is off that seat and over the handlebars, and literally the bike is going to run you over as you're on the ground. That's how bad it is. You don't want any of that. So obviously if you have an RX like, you know, Ali, or like, you know, Mr. Central Driver, or, you know, any of those guys, then yeah, of course, you can go 3K with this. You can go fast as hell with this if you want. But that's not what I recommend. I'm recommending the 2K because of those reasons. Especially if you are like me and you have an S2 and you're like, Peter, I want to go faster like you. I want to be more torquey. I want to go, you know, much further away than just 25 miles. Then this is the upgrade. I'm telling you. And you're saying, Peter, okay, those are valid points, but there's only $200 difference between the 3K and the 2K. Only. Okay, good point. There's only a couple $100 difference between those. Why not upgrade to the 3K? Well, you can do that, but the thing is that with the stock controller, the Cybertron controller that it has in here, this guy, you can't really modify this guy. You can't like tone down the, you know, you can, but it's risky. You could have problems like me where the battery shuts off and it burns out the screen. That was something that was happening in the beginning, and I was wondering why the hell was going on. And my buddy Ali was like, I have no idea, I've never seen that before. And then we realized that because he changed the settings on the controller, it was kind of making the bike hiccup. It was like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know if you want 2K, 2.5. It was kind of like wilding out a little bit. So eventually we realized, why not just put one controller and just leave it at that. Leave those stock settings in there and not change it at all. So the point I'm trying to say is that you can go 3K motor and you can buy a 2K controller. And that way, if you ever want to go upgrade more in the future, you're like, you know, I feel ready to go faster, then you can totally get a 3K controller, and then you can, you know, I'll put, you know, 4K on the 3K motor, because after all, the 2K outputs 3K max and the 3K outputs 4K max. So that's what I'm saying, is like, even though you have a 2K, you're not going 2K. You can go up to 3K with it. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to buy a faster motor and have a bigger controller, you totally can. That's totally up to you. I'm not your daddy. I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do. I love you guys. I want you guys to be safe, and this is what I recommend, you know. This is not a toy. You can get hurt really badly with this. This is not like something that you can give your, you know, your 5-year-old or 5-year-old, what am I saying? Your 13-year-old to ride, because they can get hurt really easily. You know what I'm saying? They can get hurt really easily. So let's just do a torque test here. And let's check it out. I'm gonna hit the throttle to the stoplight and see how fast it can go in 5 seconds, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it reaches like 28 miles in pretty much 8 seconds. So yeah, it goes fast. It's torquey. It's definitely torqueier than the Super 73. And you're saying 28 miles per hour in 8 seconds. That's pretty low. No, it is not low. It's gradually increasing, but as soon as it reaches the 5 seconds, it goes from 25 to like 40 in like less than 10 seconds. It's pretty damn fast. It's definitely not a downgrade at all. I can tell you guys that for sure. All right, here we go. So, you know, food for thought. I just wanted to bring that up right now, talk to you guys about it, and just let you know, in the beginning of the video, I'm not going to make a video like 30 minutes long and then just tell you guys at the very end, like, what's the deal? I'm going to tell you right away what's the deal. Because you guys have been wanting a video about it. You guys have been asking about it. You guys have been very insistent about it. So I think it's only fair that I bring it up into the beginning of the video so you guys know what's up. And I also think that, you know, I wasn't being completely transparent about the feedback on the bike, because I didn't really know how the bike was riding. I mean, the video that I showed you guys, last video, that was like maybe the first week of me riding the video. So I had no idea how the bike was riding, you know? I knew that it was faster and all that stuff, but like, I wanted to go more into depth with it. I wanted to see if I could actually see a difference between the 3K and the 2K. And this is not the only video where I'm going to talk about it. There's going to be other videos where I'm going to be riding with Ali, with Tom, which, by the way, Tom got a new RX, so now he's going to be riding with us, and future videos, and you guys are going to get to see him. But the point is that this will not be the last time I talk about it. I'll have other times, other videos where I'll compare the 3K with the 2K, my S2 with an RX. So there'll be lots of videos where we can compare those things. Oh, and by the way, speaking of the 3K that I haven't talked to you guys, one second guys, I'm gonna make something a little bit risky here. I gotta really focus here. Going 32, 35, 37, 38, 39. Yeah. It once it reaches 40, it takes a little while for it to pick up, and I'm not gonna lie. That is true. It doesn't reach 49, 48 super quickly. It has a gradual increase from 30 to 40, and then once you hit 40, it takes about, I would say, 20 seconds to really reach like 48, 49. Right now I'm going 37. I'm gonna turn here. So it definitely takes a little while to pick up. And okay, going back to what I was gonna say. You're probably asking, yo, Peter, what was the other thing you were going to talk about with the problem with the 3K? Well, there's this little problem with the 3K that not a lot of people know. And this is kind of like something that I have found out the hard way. You notice my tires? My tires are different, right? They're the Grizzlies. You guys are like, where are your Huntsmen? Where do those Huntsmen go? Well, here's the thing. When I swap the motor and the controller to 3K, I was going 60. I was going 50. I was going fast on that bike. That bike was fast. Here's the thing. The Huntsmen, they haven't been made to go at those speeds. You know, you don't put e-bike tires on and go freaking 60, 70 on them, right? Because those are motorcycle tires you need. So I didn't realize that at all. I didn't realize that these tires, they're not meant to go that fast. And that's another drawback with the 3K that not a lot of people are talking about, especially 5K. Like if you're 5K and you got the Huntsman or the Badgers on there, man, you're in big trouble because those tires can rip from the rims. And that's exactly what happened to me. Basically, my tires, my Huntsman that I love, that I wish they didn't break, but they broke because I was going so fast. And you're wondering, you're like, okay, cool, that's great, I understand, but you put the Grizzlies on there, those are e-bike tires, right? Those are not motorcycle tires. Well, you're absolutely right, they're not motorcycle tires. But the reason why I have these Grizzlies on is because they're off-roading tires. They're much thicker, they're much harder. The walls are not as soft, they're much harder walls, and they're pretty much built for puncture proof. So they're hard. They're hard tires. They're not motorcycle tires, but they're hard tires. So if you're gonna go 30, which is like what you go with the Super, obviously it's fine. If you're gonna go 40, you're pushing the limits, but it's still not a bad speed to go with these tires. Like, you're not going super fast. Like 40 is fast, but you're going like just 10 miles faster than with the stock one, right? Which is what the tires are supposed to. The tires are meant to go 30. They're not meant to go 50, 60. They're meant to go 30. But if you push the limits to 40, it's okay. They can withstand that. They can hold on to that. But they're definitely not meant to go 50 or 60, right? So right now I'm going 39, I'm going 40. Might go faster here. 41. 40, 42. 43. I'm going 43 now, right? That's fast. I'm going really fast right now. It feels like I'm going fast. I'm sure in the video you can feel like, hey, this guy's going really fast. That's what I'm saying, guys. You don't have to go any faster than 40 something. You don't have to go 50 with this bike. It's way too much. So that's the same thing with the tires, right? You can't just go 50 on e-bike tires. And the thing is that, okay, what's the solution to that? You put motorcycle tires on. But then once you put motorcycle tires on, you just create this whole new problem with your bike, which is you have to put new rims, because the stock rims, like the front one is my stock rim from Super 73. They cannot withstand motorcycle tires, because motorcycle tires are so much thicker than, they're so much thicker than e-bike tires. E-bike tires are more moldable and less harder than motorcycle tires. So to imagine put on motorcycle tires, which are, heavy duty, onto a rim that is like made out of aluminum, right? You're thinking that's gonna bend, and you're correct. That would be the first thing that would happen. Your rim will bend. Of course, If you do it right, yeah, it won't bend. If you do it right, you know, you got motorcycle tires on your aluminum rims, and that's fine. You can do that. The problem is that a lot of people are not experts, right, at switching tires. I'm definitely not. I have never swapped the tires on this myself. I've always had somebody help me with them, or I have to take it to the bike shop to do it. So, I mean, imagine putting a motorcycle tire on this. It would be so hard. It would be not easy at all. And then let's say that you are like, you're like, okay, I want to do a good job. I want to be safe, like Peter says. And I want to put some nice stainless steel or titanium or, you know, a hard metal as rims, and put some motorcycle tires on. Yeah, you can totally do that. That is totally so much safer than what I have right now. But, and here's a big but, those rims are going to weigh a ton. They're going to weigh probably like, I don't know, like 10 more pounds, 5 pounds extra each rim. And then the tires, and then you got a heavy motor. I mean, you're pretty much adding like 20 to 25 pounds extra onto your bike. So yeah, you could do that, but then that would probably slow you down, right? So then you would have to put a faster motor, and you would have to put a faster controller, and then you're just constantly having to pick up the slack from adding that extra weight, right? So that's what I'm saying, guys. That's what I'm saying. This is not a downgrade. This is an upgrade. You guys, it's so much safer. You get way more range. The bike is so much lighter. It literally weighs like an S2. It doesn't weigh like a modified bike. It weighs almost the same as an S2. And especially if you're in an S2 like me, you're going to be in a better position safe-wise. And you're not, when you hit a bump, you're not going to fly off the handlebars, like I said earlier. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Think about it. Think about it. Say it with me. Think about it. So, enough of that. Enough of my rambling on that. I'm just saying, you know, it's not a downgrade. It's an upgrade. And I know when I was riding that 3K, I was really stoked. I mean, I was like DJ Khaled on a boat. You know, I was like stoked. But in the grand scheme of things, you realize that safety is a priority, control is a priority, and distance, like the distance and range you put on the bike, is a priority as well. Because I like to go 35 miles of range, even 45 miles of range, better than 20 or 25. So that's my point, guys. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, I love you guys. You can do whatever you want. It's your bike, it's your life. You guys are adults. Hopefully you guys are adults watching me. And yeah, you can do whatever you want. These are just my recommendations. And, you know, I'm not beating around the bush when it comes to safety. You guys have seen the warnings in the beginning of my videos talking about how this is not a joke. This is dangerous, what we're doing. We're riding motorcycles that are street legal, that don't require a license, that don't require registration. You know, this is not a joke. Somebody could easily get hurt with these, die, and then here comes the laws, and here comes the registrations, and the insurance, and all this stuff, you know? We don't want any of that. We want to keep this under wraps. We want to be safe. We want to be responsible. And that's what this community is about, right? We're looking out for each other. We're here to have fun, be safe, and keep it underground. Keep it underground. I'm just gonna cough there. Oh, I thought this guy was gonna turn in front of me. Yeah, but see how torquey I am? I can like get in front of cars so much easily. Not have to worry of like me being in the way of cars. It's really nice. I think this you know, I think the stock Super 73 is great. Like, you know, it's what I started doing with the bike. I loved that bike in the beginning. I still love it. And like, if I had the stock Super 73 with the two batteries, I would still love my bike. But the thing is, like, once you add the extra torque and the 10 miles per hour faster than the original, man, it makes such a difference. I'm telling you guys, you're just like, you really enjoy the bike, like you should, you know, like it's supposed to be meant to be ridden. Because I think like the stock Super 73 is great. It's a great bike. It's fun, but it's just not meant to be on the road. And the thing is, like, when you're riding those bikes on the bike lane, you get the nastiest looks, the nastiest. Cyclists don't like you. Cars don't like you. Nobody likes you. You're in like the gray area of like zone, right? Nobody likes you because you're not fast enough for cars and you're too fast for bikes. So what does this thing do? When you add that extra power, when you add that extra torque, now you can drive on the road with the cars. Now you can be out of the way for the cars. Now you can go as fast as the cars. Now you can safely maneuver away from the cars. So once you go a little bit faster and a little bit torqueier, it just makes you, it puts you in a better place. And now you can safely ride on the street. Of course, you can ride on the bike lane too, but don't be so ride 50, 40 on the bike lane. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. Trust me. All right, I think that's the end of my rant. I think I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, and I finally made it. And here I am talking about it. So anyway, guys, I have more videos coming up very soon. I have a new review coming up on a new bike that I received. So that's coming up very soon. I'm probably going to work with my buddy Camerista, who has been helping me out with the videos, the bike reviews. He's been helping me out with bike reviews. So most likely I'll come up with a video sometime in the end of the month or in the beginning of next month with a new bike review on a new e-bike. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna squeeze here real quick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It helps me be bigger, stronger, faster. And if you guys want any of my mods, there's a link down in the description below. And it helps the channel out a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.